All right, everyone, welcome back to Muse. I'm Hannah Fletcher, and I am speaking with Miguel today. It is such a pleasure to speak with you. How are you? And before we get started completely, tell our audience where you're going. We were just talking about this before we started recording. I'm so excited for you.
Yes, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to talk with you. And me and my family are just gonna go on just vacation, relaxing time. But in terms of like my acting career, you'll know when you see me on the big screen.
Exactly. Well, I'm so excited to speak with you. It's such a pleasure. I kind of want to take it back to the beginning with you. You know, you're 15 years old, and I think that you are a very remarkable young actor. How did you find yourself getting into the acting space in the first place? When did you first catch the acting bug? Take me back to kind of like what would be, I guess, your origin story coming into
Oh,
the space.
yeah. Well, my origin story was very interesting. So when I was very little, I was very into movies, like any like after school I would just grab the remote, watch TV or ask like my parents say, "Hey, can I watch a movie in theaters?" And like they always take me to the movie theater to watch a movie and I always enjoy that. But how I got into the acting business is that I first started in theater and how I in my school and how that came to be is when I was very little, I used to have a speech impediment where I couldn't speak my words clearly. So
Mhm.
we went to a speech therapist and she suggested I should take some theater and that will like help me get rid of it. And it did actually. So in a way, you know how they say like how movies save me or whatever, that's like kind of like this is one of those like reasons, like theater and like movies help me help me get rid of this like, disability, the speech impediment and then I took I did my school theater, did my plays, and then one day in a theater acting class, the teacher noticed that he saw some talent in me and then came up to my mom and said, "Hey, he should be an actor. He should not be wasting his talents like this." So he gave my mom like the his agent's number and all that stuff. So we did, and then after a lot of auditions, I booked the movie camera, and now, ta-da, the rest is history.
That's amazing. Well, that's incredible. What I really love to hear and to see is like, I mean, I was also a theater kid growing up, and it was so important to me when my teachers would provide any type of feedback to my parents. So I'm sure it was very monumental for you and for your family, and you'll remember that for really forever. I'm sure the fact that your teacher not only told your mom that you had so much talent, but also like, I mean, you know what it's like in this industry. He gave information and encouraged your mom to even take it a step further, and I think that that's remarkable. I think that's
Yeah,
such a
it
huge
is.
testament to you as well. That's amazing. I love that. I
Yeah.
yeah, I love that your speech impact. So how long would you say if you were to just give like an estimate, how long from start to finish of doing theater like was it like a year, a couple of years, maybe even more of like doing theater and realizing that the speech impediment was slowly, I guess either fading away, normalizing, whatever the proper terminology regarding that would be.
Oh, I think I did theater in my school for like probably up until like fourth or fifth grade.
Okay.
And then I think and even that time I was still doing theater while I was like starting my acting career. So like um so in terms of like how I like I met my dance teacher and how he saw talent in me is when I was in like third or fourth grade, you know. It was in a different uh dance class, not like it was at my school or anything, but it was like outside. So
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. Now take me to the moment. Obviously, like you mentioned, you've booked camera and then everything else is history. It's been a very pivotal and changing opportunity for you and for your career. And I personally, I love getting to speak to people like at this point in their career. I think it's really fun because you get to literally watch and support and see them transition to really the next level of their journey and their career. And I think that's remarkable. So take me back to the moment when you found out that you booked camera, and then I want to dive into your character a little bit. We'll get there, but take me back to the moment that you found out that you booked it and realized, hey, this is going to be a little bit different now. This is going to really put me on a different trajectory.
Mm. Yeah. So yeah, firstly, when I got the audition to do this movie Camera with Jay Silverman and Beau Bridges and the rest of the talented cast, I was one of the kids, one of the kids of the other 500 kids to audition for this role, and then yeah, and then the director said that the went down to like five kids, and I was up against the Fablemans kid and the Stranger Things kid, and so and then when I got the call back, the in-person call back to do the to do the audition, but this time, me and the director, and then because callbacks are usually when um like the audition second time around, but to see if like like this is like the um uh final thing to see if you're like worthy to do this role and whatnot. So yeah,
Mhm.
and then when I when I did the callback, I listened to the director's notes, I gave it my best acting and whatnot. I practiced, the script and all that stuff with my wonderful acting coach, Aubrey Miller, and and uh and then and then once I done the audition, Jay Silverman was really impressed, and he came up to my mom and said, like he shake my mom's hand, and then like after that, we had got an email to have a meeting with the parents, and then and that's I think that's when we knew that we booked it. So I was like, oh, that's I'm like, oh, I was like really surprised because like that I booked this, but I really am like so happy and really am glad that I booked this because like it's a my character Oscar is something I can relate to with the whole speech impediment thing, and
Mhm.
Oscar is a mute boy, and I was and I'm so glad that I booked this, not just because I could relate to the character of Oscar, but also to show my acting range and my abilities. And then obviously we shot it, and then post production, and we when we saw when we showed the audience the film, I was super delighted to hear of all the positive reactions and about the movie, the cinematography, the directing, and the talented cast, but also like my acting, like, oh, didn't realize you love that and my acting that much. And when I saw myself on the screen, I'm like, wait, that's what I look like when I'm sad. Oh,
That is so funny. I love that. That is a real big moment. I mean, it's one thing I'm sure to even, I don't know if you guys, I know sometimes depending on the production and the team and everything like that, sometimes when I interview actors, they were able to already see the film, or maybe they even just saw the trailer, it just depends. But to see yourself on that big screen, regardless, I'm sure even if you watched it at home, even if you had the opportunity to watch the film before everybody else saw it, you're still watching it on a computer. Maybe you can screencast it to your TV. Like it's not the same as when you see it actually on that big screen. That's incredible. That's so
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, actually, a fun fact. After we shot the film, and while they were editing the film, I got to see like a couple of clips, but also I get to see like the rough cut of the film,
Hmm.
and then the final cut of the film, and then the cut where they were polishing a few things. So, yeah.
That is so nice. Talk to me all about this process. Like you mentioned, your character is mute, which I think there's a couple of different things that come to an actor's mind, obviously, when they get cast in a role quite like this, where they have to, take on a different set of stakes than they may have going on. Obviously, you're not mute in your life currently. So, and you mentioned that there's also an element of your character that you were able to relate to. What did your process look like crafting a character that was mute? What were the trials and the tribulations? Maybe what came easy, what didn't come easy? And also, how were you able to like take on this character and really make sure that you were collaborating with the team in order to be able to really bring this character to life and bring justice to this character and really tell this story?
That's a very good question. And how I was able to do this is obviously my wonderful and amazing acting coach Aubrey Miller helped me to really be the character of Oscar, and I used some of my own experience to like you give me the idea of what to, of how to do this, but also like watching a few silent films, without
Ah,
dialogue or
okay.
whatever, like well, Helen Keller movies was with dialogue, but like there was a character who like I think was blind and couldn't speak, I think, or something like that, and other silent films to like also give me an idea on how the show um how they do visual acting and there are obviously a couple of errors, like maybe if I like asking myself, am I expressing too much? Am I expressing too little? And I was just also really um I had my listening ears on to make sure I was listening to director's notes to make sure I'm bringing his vision to his movie to life and making sure I'm doing it right. And that I also like um yeah, just like taking some experience and like and look at myself in the mirror and see like what kind of an express um how do I express my emotions. So like if I'm doing a sad face or an angry face, what does that look like? And I want to see that and see if I can do that and if I can tweak it a little bit.
That is so neat. I love the idea of like physical acting and the collaborative effort of it all too. So I could nerd out about that for forever. I love hearing you talk about it. I think it's
Oh,
so
thank you.
amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious to know, how are you feeling? Obviously, this film, it's been doing pretty well. You guys have received some awards, great reviews. Overall, you've gained a lot of attention. It's even been screened at Cannes. It's been chosen to be screened at the Beverly Hills Film Festival as well. Great festival circuit. What has it been like getting all of these reviews back? And also now the film is out in the world for people to be able to see. How has that been for you on this side of things now, outside of filming and being on this side now?
Well, first of all, when hearing all of these like great reviews and camera winning a lot of awards, which was like pretty surprising and like shocking. I'm like, what? They won an award? Let's make it go! Oh, yeah. And it made me realize that I was like super grateful that I got to be a part of this project with wonderful cast and crew. I had a lot of great memories filming that movie. I want to go back to that time and film
Oh,
because that was just amazing. If you were there, you would have seen all of us having a great time and working so hard. And that and even though I done like other projects, like two commercials, an animated movie, Puss in Boots, um,
hmm.
and the Me series, um, I'm so glad that my first feature film project where I'm the main character is Camera, and I'm super excited to where my acting career can lead to and how and that see if I get like more good roles like Camera. So.
Well, I think that you are definitely on a great path. Like you mentioned, you have a very exceptional resume up to this point. And for goodness sakes, it's also an honor, even like you mentioned. I mean, you were up against a Stranger Things kid for this role. Like that's an honor in and of itself. And I hope people can understand, especially with the success of that show. I mean, good God, that's even an honor, much less to then get the role yourself. And, I think that's incredible. You have so many wonderful places to go. You're so young. I'm so excited for you. I'm excited to just watch you and hopefully just interview you on each project as you continue to go because you're great. And I'm so excited
Oh,
for you. I really am.
oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you.
You
I
too.
appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us. Congratulations on everything involving camera, seriously. And I'm very excited to continue to see where you go. Enjoy a little bit of time off. You deserve it. And I hope to be speaking with you very soon on your next project. Thank you so much for speaking with us. I appreciate your time.
Of course. And thank you for me chatting with you. It's been so great. You asked a lot of great questions, and I had a great time talking with you. You're an amazing person, I could tell.
Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh, thank you so much, Miguel.
Oh, thank you.